Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martins here with your outlook for September 8th, 2017. For your Friday, we're going to have another trough axis that's going to be moving through the region today. Going to be partly cloudy most of the day. Could be an isolated shower, but it's probably a 20% chance or less, and the greatest chance for that is going to be out here in central PA. But another reinforcing trough is going to keep the temperatures on the cooler side as we head through the weekend. And temperatures on Saturday will respond by many places not getting out of the 60s, but it will be a nice refreshing day, bright and sunny over the weekend, so we're not expecting any precipitation. So there could be a brief shower as this rotates through, and again, that's going to favor generally interior areas, interior north mostly, but this is not going to have a lot of steam with it. So just an isolated shower possible, a little brief shower, not a real big deal. But once we let's get over to the NAM High-Res Future Simulated Radar. I'm going to start this off at noon and move it forward. And real quick, you can see a couple showers here across the northern tier. Very brief showers, and that is it. So elsewhere, you're probably just partly cloudy, maybe a little more clouds and sun for a time. But the overall consensus for the day is partly cloudy. So it will be a nice day today. And then we're not expecting any precipitation over the weekend as this high pressure behind it moves in. That's going to be sitting right over the eastern Great Lakes for Saturday, so we'll be on the eastern periphery of that. Again, mostly sunny skies Saturday. Same thing here for Sunday, mostly sunny skies expected there as well. The high does not really move that much. It actually moves over to the eastern Great Lakes in southeastern Canada. So we are mostly sunny once again here on Sunday. The temperatures will come up a little bit from what they were on Saturday, but maybe into the lower 70s for highs as opposed to upper 60s. Going further into Monday. Monday is another day. We're expecting mostly sunny skies. And you'll see to the southwest, you'll see Irma coming into the picture. And a little bit of a change here recently here, but it's not just the models that are changing. The models are responding to current observations, and I'll show you what I'm talking about that in a second. But Irma is expected to come up, hit somewhere in the vicinity of South Florida and come over the spine of the peninsula, and now come up to the northwest and up in the Tennessee Valley. By the time we get to Tuesday of next week, it'll be over the Tennessee Valley. So we will have very little in the way of remnant rains. I'm going to move that through just so you can see what that's going to do. And this is the GFS taking it up into the Tennessee Valley. You can see it up here in this area. It's now going to be either a post-tropical storm or depression here at this point by Tuesday morning. And then you're going to see some bands of showers coming toward us, and this will come through Tuesday night, Tuesday night into probably the first half of Wednesday. Just a few showers here. These are just light showers. That's all we're talking about. Not breezy conditions anymore. No remnant heavy rainfall. And then this system just dies out here in the Tennessee Valley. Why do we think this is important? Well, we'll get to that in a second. Or why we think this is a plausible solution. We'll get to in a minute. But I don't think we have much to worry about here in our area whatsoever. So let's get over to Irma, and obviously this is still a Category 5, very powerful hurricane. It has weakened some here recently, and that's because for the past day or so, it has been undergoing an eye wall replacement cycle, which is the outer wall trying to constrict the inner wall. But what that does, once this eye wall replacement cycle completes, which it hasn't completely done yet at the time of the video, but it's very close. Usually takes about a day or day and a half, but it's very close to that eye wall replacement cycle completing. And once it does so, the wind field of this hurricane will expand, which makes this a much more dangerous system. You will have the top winds, peak winds, will drop a little bit when that happens, at least temporarily, and then the wind field will expand, which is even more dangerous for surge. But we'll have the temporary step back did occur at the 11 p.m. advisory tonight. We saw winds drop back to 165. Still a Category 5 hurricane, however, and once the eye wall replacement cycle completes completely, we expect the wind speeds to probably go back up again. So this is just a temporary thing, weakening if you want to call it that, but it's still 165 and a very powerful Category 5 storm. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at a different vantage point on the track. And again, this is down. This is now looking at Friday morning. It's expected to be approaching the northern Cuba coast at this point. It's going to come very close to Cuba, but I don't know that it actually makes landfall. It looks like it's going to stay just offshore. We'll monitor that closely. That could, if it does make landfall in Cuba, that would be a saving grace for areas in South Florida. Somewhat, because it will weaken it if it does that, but not to the point where it would not still be very devastating down here in South Florida regardless. So this is going to go a little bit forward from this point, and you can see it's going to turn to the north and then head right to South Florida somewhere, either on the tip. It's going to be either on the tip. It's either going to be on the east side here by Miami, right over the tip, or just to the west, maybe toward Naples. So, I mean, one of those three spots, it's gonna hit. Either way, remember what I said about the eyewall replacement cycle, expanding the wind field. This is a very, very large hurricane, so a lot of area that will feel the effects of this hurricane as it makes landfall. So it doesn't matter exactly where that landfall point is. A very large area, and even further inland as this comes up the spine of the peninsula here. We're going to feel some very strong effects, very strong surge coming from the east side here, coming right into the coast, and that's not just in Florida, but also into Georgia, maybe from Charleston and points south will experience some pretty good surge, and also rotating around the backside toward the Keys will have some surge as this system moves up the spine of the Appalachians. So a lot of arrows there, but I hope you get the idea of what I'm trying to convey here. And this is going to be a very dangerous situation for the entire peninsula, but also up here in Georgia and coastal South Carolina. You're not off the hook yet, even though we don't think. Now we're now starting to shift a little bit further southwest of you for a direct impact. Earlier in the week, it looked like it might hit Miami or come close to it and then come up here like this. No longer looks like that's going to happen. And again, I'll show you why in a second. After this makes landfall again, comes right over the spine of the Appalachians, but it's or not the Appalachians, the spine of the peninsula, and just rides the eastern coast of Florida all the way up to about Jacksonville, and then takes a more of a northwesterly turn over Georgia, over Atlanta, and then finally settles near Nashville here and as a tropical storm, and then it just kind of fizzles out to a depression post-tropical, and there it goes, and it's gone. Now, I will tell you why this solution is plausible, and probably the most plausible solution. We have also, before I get into that, we have Jose that's sitting out here in the Atlantic. It looks like it's going to try to meander around the southeastern United States here, or off the southwest Atlantic. It's going to sit here and kind of spin and do a little loop-de-loop and circle. That's what it's expected to do right now. So we'll monitor that closely, but it is not an immediate threat to land, so that's why I haven't been talking about this so much. But Irma, we have. The reason why this is plausible, and then you can look at this right from water vapor imagery. I'm going to stop this image here just so you can see. Here is Irma. And I'm going to put this back in motion so you can see it again. But there is an upper level low that is diving down to the southeastern United States. This is a very crucial player in what Irma does. So right now it's on a west-northwesterly track. It's expected to settle into the southeastern United States right about here. That's going to cause, because the flow around an upper level low is counterclockwise. So you have on the east side, you have southerly winds. So that's going to help to steer Irma up in this direction initially. And then once it gets up past around it, it's going to just loop around here like this. That's what it's going to do. It's going to turn to the northwest because of the position of this upper level low that's sitting here. And here's that little spin right here you can see. So this is not something, you forget about models. You can say, well, models are maybe wrong about this upper level low. Well, it's right here. So we can see it sitting there spinning. This is the upper level low that's diving down to the southeast. And it is on target for what the GFS and the European model have. So we have no reason to believe that it would not be able to influence Irma in the manner that it's showing. And that would be a South Florida hit, maybe coming up and over Florida, Georgia, and then settling in the Tennessee Valley. So this is forgetting the models, and you can use models all you want. But when you look at reality and see what's actually happening, these are actually observations. And at the same time, we also have a trough here in the northeast that's going to be lifting out at the same time. So that's not going to have an influence on Irma, and will not be able to steer her up in this direction here like this toward our area or the eastern Carolinas, Outer Banks, or anything like that. So we are very confident now that this will strike somewhere near a direct impact to South Florida and then come up over or near the coastline, eastern coastline of Florida before heading up into and making a northwest turn over toward the Tennessee Valley eventually. So we'll continue to monitor this, but this is what it looks like right now, and very minimal impacts in our area. If something changes, we'll let you know. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martich. That is your outlook for September 8th, 2017. Have a great Friday.